The Haunting of Blackthorne Asylum. In the small town of Timber Falls, famed ghost hunter Tyler Grayson was the king of the paranormal world. His live-streamed investigations attracted millions of viewers every week. Behind the facade of night vision cameras and staged reactions, Tyler was a hardened skeptic. He had no belief in ghosts, demons, or anything supernatural. His equipment was rigged, his assistants were actors, and his evidence was all smoke and mirrors. Fame and fortune were his true ghost, always haunting him, pushing him for more outrageous performances. One chilly November evening, Tyler decided to up the ante with his biggest stunt yet. The location? Blackthorne Asylum, a decrepit and long-abandoned mental institution on the outskirts of Timber Falls. Rumored to be the most haunted site in the region, Blackthorne had been closed for decades after fire claimed the lives of its patients and staff. Its dark history made it prime location for Tyler's spectacle. He hyped up the investigation with cryptic teasers. "This will be the most chilling episode yet! Don't miss it live tonight!" Unbeknownst to the audience, Tyler had orchestrated a team of hidden actors who would create paranormal phenomenon throughout the night. Everything was meticulously planned, or so he thought. As the live stream commenced, Tyler greeted his audience with his signature smug grin, the glow of his flashlight reflecting off the cracked, grime-covered tiles behind him. "Welcome, fearless viewers, to Haunted Horizons. Tonight we face the horrors of Blackthorne Asylum. Who knows what evil we will uncover in the depths of what some are calling hell on earth." His voice echoed down the cold, decayed corridors as his steps disturbed piles of ash and debris. The air was thick, suffocating, carrying an undertone of rot and burnt flesh. The camera crew followed closely, their equipment capturing the flickering beams of light that danced across the rest of the wheelchairs and splintered furniture. In the asylum's morgue, Tyler paused for effect. The room reeked of mildew and something far fouler, a scent like spoiled meat lingering in the shadows. "This is where the most tortured spirits linger. Let's see if they want to communicate." He placed a rigged EMF reader on a steel table smeared with dark stains that looked suspiciously fresh. As planned, the device started blinking erratically, and Tyler faked being surprised. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed down the hall, loud enough to rattle the rusted hinges of the more doors. Tyler smirked, assuming one of his hidden actors had triggered the noise. But when he checked his earpiece, there was only static, hissing like an angry snake. Is that you, Greg?" he whispered, breaking character for a moment, his voice crackling slightly, and what he got was no response. His viewers flooded to the chat with messages. "Please say that was fake. That wasn't fake, was it?" "Something's off tonight." "I have a bad feeling about this, Tyler." "Run! You need to get out of there!" Determined to keep the show going, Tyler plastered on a grin and pressed forward. He entered the asylum's recreation room, a cavernous space filled with crumbling furniture and peeling wallpaper. The walls were scrawled with faint, eerie messages like, "Help us," and "He's here." One of the messages, written in a smeared red substance that looked like blood, began to glow faintly. Tyler's bravado faltered. He stumbled backward. "That's... a new trick?" he muttered, sweat beading on his forehead despite the icy air. But there was one problem, it wasn't his trick. The temperature in the room plummeted, his breath crystallizing before him in short, ragged puffs. The oppressive silence was broken by a low, evil laugh that came from everywhere and nowhere all at once. Tyler spun around, his flashlight beam slicing through the dark, but finding nothing. The camera crew screamed and bolted, their heavy footsteps fading into the distance. Tyler was left alone, the weight of the asylum pressing down on him like the weight of a freight train pressing down on the tracks. "All right, whoever's doing this, you're fired!" Tyler shouted, his voice shaking. A figure emerged from the darkness, a tall, evil man in a charred hospital gown. His skin was blistered and blackened, with patches of raw flesh oozing with a vicious black liquid. His eyes burned like embers, the heat of them searing the air. "Why do you mock us?" the figure hissed, his voice a blend of 1,000 agonized whispers. Tyler staggered back, tripping over a rusted wheelchair that creaked loudly in the dead silence. This isn't real. You're not real." The spirit advanced, joined by others. The patients and staff of the asylum, their forms twisted and grotesque. One dragged their broken body along the floor, leaving a trail of blood and ash. Another gurgled wetly, their throat ripped wide open but still bubbling with faint, struggling breaths. "You profit from our pain," one whispered, their voice like dry leaves crunching on the ground. "You deny us existence," said another, their eye sockets hollow but leaking black tears. "Feel what we felt," the charred man commanded, raising a skeletal hand. Tyler's screams tore through the asylum, echoing down the halls, raw and primal. The spirits surrounded him, their hollow eyes locking onto his. One placed a skeletal hand on Tyler's chest, and he froze mid-screen, his eyes bulging as if suffocating on unseen air. His body convulsed violently, and his face twisted in an expression of pure agony. As the spirit siphoned his life force, his skin grew pallid and gray, sagging against his bones until his corpse collapsed like a deflated balloon. The live stream didn't cut out. Millions of viewers watched in stunned silence as a screen filled with static. Then, a final message scrawled itself in blood-red text across the screen. "He mocked us. Who's next?" In the days following his live stream, Tyler's death became a global sensation. Experts tried to debunk the footage, dismissing it as an elaborate hoax. But then, strange things began happening to the viewers. Those who had watched live reported seeing shadowy figures lurking in the corners of their homes. At night, they heard faint whispers that grew louder and clear as the days passed. "We're coming for you. You can't hide. We're everywhere. We're everything." Some woke to find their mirrors fogged with messages like, "You watched him die," or "Now it's your turn." Then, one by one, the viewers began to disappear. Police investigations turned up nothing. Only eerie, empty homes where the faint scent of burnt flesh lingered. The final post on Tyler's now-defunct channel? A grainy, distorted clip of his face, pale and hollow-eyed, whispering directly to the camera. "You're all part of the show now.